Today I'm meeting Nicky Taylor-East, who is, apart from the founder of likemary, a very good friend. We went to school together. Hi, Nick.
Since 5.
Since we were 5 years old. So, Nick, tell me a bit about likemary and your reasons for starting, and a little bit of history.
So, likemary is an online clothing label. It started at Portobello Market in 2009. I had been in London for nearly 2 years, and coming from the Mediterranean, I found it really difficult to be happy in a city, 9 to 5ing, using the tube, commuting. I know it sounds like really wimpish, but
it doesn't, because the winters were pretty hard. I think we moved pretty much at the same time.
And I understood what the expression winter blues meant, all of that. I really struggled with it and wasn't making enough money either. So I thought, so this is kind of how it happened. I thought, okay, this I can't be unhappy grinding my way through life in this city. So what am I going to do about it? And I had traveled before, worked at markets before. So I kind of just flew myself to India and bought some products which I knew I loved and hoped other people would love them as well. The blanket scarves, which I think you know.
Yes, I love them. In fact, I have, my blanket scarf I take everywhere, yes. And I also use it on the bed. It doubles up as many things.
Music to my ears. So went to Portobello, got a stall at Portobello Market. It was the dawn of the online world. So this is in 2009.
So your timing was perfect.
I was lucky with timing for online. I've always been quite a computer person. I've always been like a gamer. So I'm comfortable. I was always comfortable at the computer and interested in online and online shopping. But at the time, not even Topshop had an online presence.
Wow.
So it was just eBay at
Just
first.
Thinking about it, the journey and how much it's advanced in 11 years is just unreal, isn't it?
And nobody used to shop online at the time. And then, so I kind of slowly...
So it was a real risk.
It was risky in terms of, yes, of course, I'm going to spend
leave a job
without a job, spend the mini savings I have on whatever stock I think I can sell, and then telling myself, okay, what's the worst case scenario? You'll
go back to a job.
Or, at least but kind of with the stock, at least you'll sell it for what you bought it. So that's what I told myself. But it was a massive learning experience, especially at Portobello. It was like being at school of pattern and color. You have all these people from all over the world coming to your store, reacting to what you've
Must
bought.
have been so much fun being like a trader.
It was fun and it was tough. Try trading in the snow, pushing snow. Me, the Mediterranean person, happy in her bikini, suddenly is in fur with fur hat, DMs. But it was so educational.
Okay.
Because people all over the world are coming to your store and reacting to to my store, reacting to what I had bought and teaching me what I hadn't bought and what they were looking for, which was very different from what I thought people wanted.
Yes, of course. So you listened, and obviously you're a success story because likemary has worked. So how did you adapt to what people wanted, and how have you grown?
With what people wanted. Of course, as soon as a customer tells you that they want something, you get it for them. Okay. When people ask you for a color and you don't have it, you try and get that color. Now it's a very different market. So I don't do Portobello Market anymore, both because it's very tough and also it's not the same market. It became, as online grew, people shop less and less in shops, and certainly,
especially now.
But even. I only did it for a few years, for 2-3 years, and then I thought it was time to move on, especially because online really picked up. Different marketplaces opened. One mega success story in a marketplace, I don't know if you've heard of Silk Thread.
Yes.
Incredible. That woman's story is incredible. So that, and also been really helpful to me and to likemary because we trade on there as well. So it wasn't so necessary anymore.
Okay, so now you're mainly online.
Only online.
You're only online. And
yes. A little bit of wholesale where I get the chance, but even at the beginning I used to kind of take my little case of scarves around to independent boutiques where you can find them. It's like, looking through the forest for the mushroom because it's all franchise all over London. But you still find the little independent boutiques, go in, I've got these scarves, do you like them? Would you like to buy some?
So has COVID affected you, like lockdown? Or has it affected the business?
It's been very challenging. So at first in March, as soon as COVID hit the UK, people stopped shopping. At first, it was like literally sales went complete. So then that was for the first few weeks. Then everybody adapted and got bored and I guess decided that they did need to shop because the weather became warmer. So people were looking for comfy clothes that they could hang out.
Because you don't only do scarves, you do a variety of things now. The business has evolved to include. I mean, I have my little rompers that I love, my all-in-ones. So
you can't make money from only selling scarves. Is the truth. I wish I could because I love them. But yes, it did develop, and I also enjoy designing and buying fabric and making clothes. So that was the first.
Well, you have a very specific style. It's
comfy and
comfy.
travel-y.
Okay.
Sort of, it developed from what I like, but of course I had to as well learn what people like, what women like. Women like dresses, so I had to learn about dresses. A lot of people love florals, so I had to learn about florals and not just black.
I'm the same. It had to be paid to wear a colour, so.
But you learn. So the first challenge with COVID was that everyone stopped shopping, but then when people started shopping again, borders were closed. I couldn't get shipments. I had no stock. So then the problem became almost like a good problem to have, demand, but frustration because the borders were closed. Then eventually borders open, but obviously freight costs are much higher. So there are challenges there. Production is a lot slower because there's social distancing.
Of course.
The owner of the main unit I work with got coronavirus. The fact it was all sorts of challenges, and even now that we're back into our second lockdown and it's winter, so it's not like when we were in lockdown people were shopping to go to for walks in the park. If you think about it, why do you shop? For clothing, I'm talking about. You think, why do you shop? Because you're going out? Because you have a party?
Yes.
Because you're going abroad? You wouldn't shop to stay in your pajama or shop for your Zoom call, really. You could pull any old jumper out of the wardrobe.
They're halfway.
Exactly. So no one's traveling, no one's going out, but summer was here, so there was still a reason to shop. Now in winter, it's pretty appalling again.
Yes, but you and everybody, it's like getting through this period has been tough, and it's just being able to adapt and being able to stay alive and get through it.
Thankfully, it's not a work brand or an evening.
It's
brand.
A work from home in your comfy.
Compatible because I'm so into comfy clothing that most of the designs are made to be comfy.
Yes.
So that at least has been very helpful. And a scarf is a scarf and a shawl is a shawl. It's great. It's got longevity. So that hopefully that will take me through the winter.
So tell me a bit about your passion about materials, and you're very specific on what you buy, and you go very much by feel, and I've always known you like that.
Everything's about fabric. So this is in fact the starting point when people ask me, so what do you? So you design? I start with the fabric. With the scarves and the shawls, they're hand woven, and the knits, it's all fair trade and women's empowerment projects. So I'm really humbled to work with these people, and I'm really humbled to have met them and that they work with me, and it's absolutely incredible what they do and how they do it. When it comes to the clothes as well, I start with the fabric. I go to fabric markets, I find fabric I like the feel of, the texture of, the price of, obviously, as well. And then I'm like, okay, now what can I make with this? Let's have a look.
So it's a journey. It's something special that takes you up to your final product.
And everything myself, every little button, every little trim, every little tassel, every little bead has at the start been found by me.
All made with love.
And sourced, if I'm looking for a particular tassel or a particular bead, I'll go to the market, I'll find it myself, and I'll either find it so it can be made in quantity, or I'll buy bulk, or I'll get, in the case of the tassels, dyed in this particular color, but every little trim has been sourced.
It's done with passion, and I'm a firm believer that everything that's done with passion, once you get the end result, you can't go wrong, and especially with all of your stuff, or just
you can go wrong sometimes. No, it's true, you can. And it's so funny. Sometimes I make
that's your learning curve, I suppose.
Where I'm like, okay, this is going to be amazing, and it doesn't sell. And then something else, And you're like, okay, I think this will be all right. And then people love it. And you're just like, what's going on? You know, because everyone is so different.
True,
and so
it's
different
true.
from me.
I suppose so, because you're catering for yourself firstly, and then you need to adapt to all the situations.
Especially when you're Miss Boring and Black, you cannot cater for yourself.
Nick, tell me a little bit about you living in this area and loving it, because obviously it's in your heart.
You helped me get my first little shoebox in this area, which was completely.
Yes.
I mean, I probably if it wasn't for you, would not. You know, you really gave me that final push. This is cute. Get it. I mean, look. Geographically, I mean, just location-wise, it's great. You can be anywhere in 20 to 25 minutes. And yet when you're here, you feel like you're in a little village.
But it's more about the community.
It's
just become so much home for you, hasn't it?
Because you're in London. I mean, we're in Zone 2. In 25 minutes, I'm in Piccadilly Circus. And yet, it doesn't feel like you're in or sometimes it doesn't even feel like you're in London. It is about the community. I've got girlfriends who live almost on every street now. And it just happened like that. So wherever you could be walking to the grocer, to Mohammed, and you see your friend cycling by. Hey, how's it going?
And that's like going back to our little island in the Mediterranean, isn't it?
That's what Rise is when you live here long enough.
Yes.
You just bump into, someone's, hey, I'm outside walking the dog. You can't come in because I've got a cat. Let's have a glass of wine outside on the wall. And that's what it's become.
Any tips for budding entrepreneurs, people starting off in business, doing it alone? Because now, obviously, with COVID, a lot of people made redundant, starting off, losing their jobs, just possibly feeling really down about it. You know, what give us?
I know that place of feeling really down about knowing what to do, even if it wasn't COVID. So look, the cliche, which is a total cliche, but I really believe in it. The first one, which I would say, is go with your gut. It's here, and your nose. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. But if you have a feeling about it, trust it. Listen to that. Also, I would say at the beginning, for me, just personally, what I now, if I had to look back, found challenging. I funded myself. Switch from wine to water. I funded myself. So, and that can be scary because there's so much. Before you start selling, you're spending on everything.
Yeah.
Everything costs money. Your website costs money. Your logo costs everything, and it's all outgoing. So you kind of sometimes you're like, okay, I'll spend on that, but not on that. Now, in retrospect, I wish I'd given it more thought and gone a bit less kamikaze, because sometimes spending more money on things that matter. For example, in my case, it was my photo shoots. That. But this is particular to me. This is what
So you would have spent more?
Yes, I think sometimes
you wouldn't have been as hesitant.
Be a bit braver about investing more at the beginning. And I'm not saying like go. I was very cautious because again, it was all of my own money that I was investing. And now I think, looking back, had I not been so cautious, I could have got better results quicker.
Okay.
But I had to learn that.
That's great advice, Nick.
So those two things, I think, for sure.
And what is the future for likemary now?
Funnily enough, and you're going to really find it funny, what I would love, so I still work from home. I've got a home office. I've got a stockroom in the house. My assistant comes. Now I feel, as much as I'm resistant to it, I really would like a shop. No. An outside space, though, close by, working distance from home. I'd love a sort of warehousey type space where I have to leave the house. I can employ more people, grow a bigger team, but not in my house anymore. Okay. And that would be a really good step. That's what I'm budgeting for right now.
Well,
so maybe you can help me.
Nick, thank you so much for speaking to me today. You're such an inspiration to me, because obviously you were the first one. You were one of my friends from school that set up home business and has succeeded and has done so well. And it's done with such love. And yeah, so thank you so much for speaking to me today.
Cheers, amor.
Yeah. Cheers.
Success. All for you.